Hey guys, what's up? My name is Anthony, and welcome to another edition of BNA Sports Talk. And trades have gone down since the last time we talked. I uploaded a video a couple days ago. I'm not sure if it was yesterday. Depends when I uploaded it, about the Giants cap situation. But I want to talk briefly, for about 2-3 minutes, about the trade, kind of my takeaways from it, and then we'll go on to talk about Russell Wilson later in the video. So, first of all, my first takeaway from Philadelphia, thank God you tanked, right? I get it, they got an extra first-round pick out of the whole deal. But they're still favorites in the division. Not favorites, but they're still like number 3 in the division. The Giants are 4. The Giants, on paper, are 10 times better than the Eagles. You take a look at the secondary. Our backups are better than their starters. Take a look at the defensive line getting old. Even if we lost Dalvin Tomlinson, we're still better than them. Offensive line, Lane Johnson's getting old. Andrew Thomas is man-on-man better than Andre Dillard. It's just... and Brandon Brooks, can you trust that? Him to not get injured again? So everywhere you look, we're a better team than them. And with Nick Sirianni, I don't understand. But now you have 10, 11, 12. Those are the picks for the draft. And I don't want the Giants to take somebody just in spite. Like if Devontae Smith is there, I don't want them to take him just so the Eagles can't have him and just for a need. We'll see. We'll see who's available then. We'll continue to have those draft conversations. The Eagles are still in trouble. I think they're still last place in this division. Next, let's talk about the 49ers, because there's all talk about Jimmy Garoppolo. They're not going to trade Jimmy Garoppolo. So first of all, who would you get? Who are you going to get in the draft? I really think it's Trey Lance. I got it at 10-1 odds. Trey Lance at 10-1 odds. Penny Sewell, this is just stupid. Penny Sewell was 2.5-1 to go as the number 3 overall pick. That just doesn't make any sense. I don't understand unless they want to trade it again. I think it's a slam dunk, great value. I can have Justin Fields at 2-1. I can even hedge it if I wanted to, because you have 2 bets at 2-1. You don't win anything, but you can hedge, if that makes any sense, right? Because it's 2-1, 2 times. Yeah, I think you guys understand what I'm trying to say. Next. Oh, no. Let's talk about Jimmy Garoppolo. First of all, he gets injured a lot. So you're going to have a guy that's going to be ready day one to play. They also have Josh Rosen on the roster. No longer have C.J. Beathard, who went to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I'm not sure what Nick Mullins is. He might be on the roster. Probably should have checked. But you're going to have somebody who's going to be ready to play, because Jimmy Garoppolo hasn't proven he can play a full season. He did that once. And then they went to the Super Bowl. But still, are you really going to bank on that again? So there's something going on here. There has to be, right? Like, if you want a developmental guy, and then Jimmy Garoppolo is not really a developmental type quarterback where he's going to teach the guy the ropes like a Ryan Fitzpatrick, there has to be something fishy going on. I don't see how the 49ers can just deal going into the season with Jimmy Garoppolo being a $26 million cap hit. And I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to want to take a pay cut. I just don't. So I think that this thing is going to end pretty badly. He's going to end up somewhere else. And whether that's the Bears, whether that's New England, I don't know. But I hear Michael Kay. He's so stupid. He's talking about how he's going to go for like a first-round pick. That's not going to happen. But as far as the Miami, there's just maneuvering stuff. They could even go after Russell Wilson at this point. Like, they would trade him to like 3 first-round picks, and you still have like 2 left over. They just have a bunch of space there. Colin Cowherd is worried about them being stuck at quarterback. I'm not really too worried about that, because you can always move. You have a lot of draft capital you can always spend. CF2 is a guy, I liked what I saw from him. He doesn't have that arm zip, but he's smart. He can execute the offense. He can distribute. Focus on building the offensive line first, that's pretty much all I have to say about the specific trade. As far as who won the trade, we'll see. On paper, I think it's, obviously if San Francisco gets their quarterback, they win. Kind of like the Mitch Trubisky trade a couple years ago. The Bears get their quarterback, they win. And 49ers, they ended up making the Super Bowl, so I think they won that trade specifically. Remember, they moved down from 2 to 3, ended up drafting Solomon Thomas, who wasn't a great player per se. Now he's in the Raiders, but we'll have to wait and see. Right now, if I had to guess on it, Miami, I guess, put themselves in a better spot to keep on drafting, to draft the guy that they want to, and basically just got more shots at the apple and more shots to pick good players. And they went 10-6 last year, I think. So they were overall in a good spot. So I'd lean towards them winning. Ended up winning this trade if you had to put a winner on it. I also want to do a 1-minute rant about Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. Why do people still have... I feel like this is the episode of SpongeBob. How many times I got to teach you this lesson, old man? How many times am I going to see a mock draft with the Atlanta Falcons taking a quarterback? They're not. I'm declaring this right now. If the Falcons draft a first-round quarterback at number 4, they can maybe trade back, but if they draft a quarterback at round 4, I promise you, I will either shave my head or dye my hair a color of your choosing. That is how confident I am. You're telling me they're going to get the fourth quarterback on their board and have them wait for 3 years. That doesn't happen. It's called Justin Herbert. After a game punctured lung, you're in. Daniel Jones, after 2 games, Eli Manning is benched. Drew Lock, after a couple of games, he got injured a little bit. And even then, he still started 8 games in. Dwayne Haskins started 6-7 games into his career. Even 1 year with Patrick Mahomes felt like an eternity. And you have a new coach, too. Everything that the guys want to see what he has in Matt Ryan. He's not going to be like, okay, we're going to restructure you, Matt Ryan, so you're a $60 million dead cap hit this year, $40 million dead cap hit next year, and no, we're going to still draft a quarterback instead of maybe getting you a Kyle Pitts or a Penei Sewell to protect you. Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. That's a smart decision. And yeah, that's the thing I'm going to stand on, and I'm going to keep on preaching because it just pisses me off. It's my mock draft pet peeve. Next, I want to talk about Russell Wilson because the Seahawks, you can save $12 million by trading him post June 1. You know that the Bears have Andy Dalton. A lot of people, Adam Schefter is still mentioning it, or Ian Rappaport, either one of those is saying, it's still a possibility. That's the reason why the Bears kind of got a Andy Dalton. Now, you're going to have to maybe trade away a Khalil Mack, but Russell Wilson would only be a $19 million cap hit if you're the Bears. You can clear some space with some of those contracts by getting rid of a Khalil Mack and maybe an Eddie Goldman, but then all of a sudden you're just gutting your complete defense completely. Maybe trade away an Allen Robinson, but because you wouldn't have to pay him shit, I don't think, because it's $18 million kid dead cap hit, and all of a sudden, if you're the Seahawks, imagine you're going to get Andy Dalton, but then his wide receivers are going to be Allen Robinson, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Freddie Swain, who's pretty good, and maybe Will Disley and whoever they have who will decide to roll out at tight end. And and then kind of piecemeal it out in the offensive line, which may be struggle for Andy Dalton, but it's whatever. So look at Seahawks, that's good, and the Bears, you have Russell Wilson, and now all of a sudden, I think they're going to have to give up that first-round pick, but you kind of have to focus on rebuilding now. The whole thing is the owner going to trust the GM and say, you can make this move? I think with Ryan Pace, it's like, this is his last year. Are you really going to mess up the franchise completely? And all of a sudden you get the new GM in there. It doesn't quite like Russell Wilson. It's just like, okay, now let's get rid of him again. But Russell Wilson said one of the cities he wanted to play for was the Bears. Was it actually? I'm not sure. But so Russell Wilson to Chicago, it is a possibility. $12 million they can save. Right now it would be like something ridiculous, like $10 million. I'll put up the exact number, but like $10 million. Dead cap, added extra. But after June 1st, after the draft, they can do it. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm correcting myself a little bit. They can't trade pick number 20 because it would be after the draft. So it would be future draft picks, meaning they would have to give up like 2 or 3 future first rounders. So they'd still get pick number 20. So if you have this deal kind of in place-ish, you can draft a player like, offensive lineman to help protect Russell Wilson too. And I just think that's a really pretty good idea for the Seahawks. And that's pretty much all I have to talk about today. It's 8 minutes in. Hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.